are at Fieldstone Gardens. I'm Serena and I work at Waterville Creates, and this is our On the Road series. So we just went up 201 into Vassalboro to visit Fieldstone, and it's really beautiful. It's a beautiful day. We're going to give you a tour of the grounds, and it's just a stunning place. So we're excited to introduce you to this place, and I'm going to make some art here too, so we'll get to try out an art project. So pretty. Oh my gosh. There's art everywhere too. Should we look at some of the art? Does this work? Oh my god. It's amazing. I'm gonna do this because it's just so cool to be near stone faces and drinking from a stone. God, there's art everywhere. Should we walk through under here? Yeah. Oh, it's so pretty. So we're here in the shade plant garden, but what you'll see when you get here is things are laid out. So there's a garden full of phloxes and peonies, and this is all hostas mostly. So, and it's really incredibly beautiful here. So we were like, we should just film under this thing because it's so pretty. But if you've never been here, you should take a trip. All right, so we're inside of the Fieldstone little retail space, which is really cool, and they have really beautiful and unique objects. A lot of things you would put in your garden, but then they also sell compost and peat, and they have some really beautiful and yummy smelling to keep ticks off you, like some oils. They have collecting baskets that you could bring out into the field. Anyway, just some beautiful things. So we're gonna look around so you can see some of the stuff they offer. A lot of it's art, which is really cool. Oh my god. Look at the pigs. I love this. I'm gonna come home and Ian's gonna be like, what are you doing? Oh, look, they have sculptures of insects. That is the best. I think I know where I'm going to come to get presents for my sisters and my mom. Oh my gosh, so cool. For those of you who love cats. These look like bookends, maybe. Cat bookends. Oh, it's so pretty. These are the collecting baskets, that's cool. Oh, look at that bench. Wow. This is a, what is this? Blueberry? Is that right, Nate? These guys? Yeah.
I'm afraid to speak.
Okay, sorry.
I haven't quite gotten the hang of like how that works, and since my voice was so booming last time, I'm terrified that I ruined footage. Right. But this will be a good test.
With these guys.
It's not easy for me not to talk.
All right, so I'm here at Fieldstone Gardens with Bob Milano, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the history of the gardens and some of the beautiful grounds here.
Hi, so I've been working here for 15 years with Steve Jones, who actually created Fieldstone Gardens when he was a junior in high school. He had a dream way back then, and he's basically turned his 4-generation family farm into what you see today. It's been quite an evolution of different things happening. In the background, you can see a little bit of the history where you see the Jones Tree Farm sign back in the 70s. Steve's parents decided that they were going to turn the farmland into timberland. So they planted 80,000 red pine trees. You can see them all around the outstretch of the property and all around our retail area as well, making a beautiful backdrop to all of the gardens that have been put in throughout the years. The cairn that you see on the hill in the background over there, that rock pile, is actually an homage to Steve's dad's rock building days. Carlton used to work at the Waterville High School as the machine tool instructor, and then when he retired from that job, he started working for Steve doing hardscapes, stone walls, and things like that. A lot of the stone walls that you see around the property, the ones that are more formally built, he actually rebuilt them through the years with himself, and a couple of his kids also helped out. And that cairn up there is an homage that he built to his own rock wall building years. And when he actually built it, he had to do a little time capsule that's been locked into there. So if it ever comes down or somebody takes it apart, they'll see what the farm was all about in the future. Cool. These are our perennial beds that you see out here. We produce about 80 to 90% of our own perennial plants right here on the property. We ship them all across the country, and we also have retail cash and carry available right here on the farm. We welcome customers from all over to walk throughout all the gardens. They're welcome to go through all the production areas, see what we're up to every day. Throughout the summertime, we have a lot of different classes and seminars and things going on, different events, and most of that can be read about on our Facebook page. So it's a big production that way.
Sweet. Well, let's walk kind of down towards that area there, and then out towards the cairn. And I'm just going to keep the film rolling, Serena, so you guys feel free to chat about anything.
Cool.
I will say I'm deathly curious. How has business been this year?
Business has been very good for us. Everybody is basically at home and has the opportunity now to take care of all of those projects that they've been thinking about all these years. And we have the tools to help them do it. We've got an incredible selection of perennials. And when we offer a perennial, we don't offer just one cultivar of a perennial. As you can see, the peonies in the beds out here, we have hundreds and hundreds of different colors and cultivars.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with our daylilies, with our hostas, with our irises. All of our plants, we try to carry all the cultivars that might be possibly available on the market. With our peonies and our daylilies, customers can walk down through the beds, and actually we have some flowers that are cuttable, so they can cut their own bouquet while they're here. But in the meantime, if they see a particular peony or a plant that's in the bed, they can choose it and select it, and we dig it at the appropriate time for them, and they come back and get it.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That
So
is
that's
like the coolest thing. It's like picking your own lobster at a restaurant.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And to be able to walk through all of the different variations of it and to smell them. I mean, sometimes when you walk around the farm here, you get a waft of something coming through and you're like, oh my goodness, where did that come from? And so there's a lot of different fragrant things on the property that people can actually see and experience. Yeah. And the idea of all of that was that these were display gardens to help people choose things to go in their own yards. So coming here and having the experience of what's planted in the gardens can be recreated in their own backyard. The inspiration that's here is just, it's endless.
And you were just talking about the sweet smells, and I have to tell you a secret. Serena is in love with ferns and was smelling some of your ferns earlier, and I think we're coming up to an area where you're cultivating ferns?
Yes, we offer quite a selection of indigenous ferns and also some fern sod and also some wildflower or woodland plant sod. It's just like a grass sod that you might put on your lawn, but instead it comes in square foot chunks, and you might place this in your woodland area to do a ground cover or to get a mass planting of something like hay-scented fern, for instance.
I would. Oh, that's so exciting.
So this is the area where we kind of keep it under cover and in store. We have an irrigation system that we can keep it well irrigated, and as you can see, it's just literally square chunks of the actual woodland plants right here, and you would just put that in your gardens, and once it gets rooted in and established, it starts to creep around and spread as a ground cover as well.
And you were telling me you were working on blueberries for
down
coastal.
On the other end, we actually have blueberry sod, low bush blueberry sod, and that is a wonderful plant for people who might have like a lakeside area that they want to have some vegetation to filter the rainwater going into the lake and still have their view. Well, this is low bush blueberry sod, so it serves many purposes. You're filtering the water going into the lake, so you're not letting in as many phosphates. You're also feeding the wildlife. You're feeding yourself. I mean, who doesn't want blueberry pancakes and fresh blueberry muffins in the morning? and you would be able to harvest some of that of your own in your own yard.
That's so brilliant.
This particular fern sod right here, this is the hay-scented sod. You were talking about
I love
ones that you can smell. Well, this is what it looks like when it first gets going. But if you can pan over the wall right there, you can see some under the trees and see a mass planting of it and what it might look like in your shade garden or underneath your apple trees even.
They're so beautiful. I love the hay-scented ferns.
And it's such a nice, soft, smooth flow in the woods, and when the light catches it, as you can see there, they glow here and there when the sun dapples through the trees. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, I just started. I'm in a course where we're doing some ID of ferns, and I've been learning. I actually brought with me my little fern ID book so I can see. But this is amazing.
So we do anything from hay-scented to sweet fern. Sweet fern is Comptonia, and that's very, very fragrant. That loves the nice dry spots, and you can do a mass planting of that as well. We've got ostrich fern, interrupted fern, cinnamon stick fern, all the Japanese ferns. So we've got quite a nice selection of different types that you can, incorporate with each other and make a beautiful patchwork of ferns in your own gardens.
That's so cool.
Some of what you're seeing here, where these numbered grids are, is our plant production that we reproduce. We put them into smaller pots like this, and then we're able to use these smaller pots to mail to our to our mail order customers. We also use these to restock all of our retail area, and anywhere from Achillea to Zizia, we have everything across the alphabet for perennial plants. We're also getting more into some of the smaller trees and shrubs that we bring in bare root, and we get those going for customers as well.
And you said you started here 15 years ago?
Yes.
Have you always loved gardening? Or
my family, we've gardened our entire lives.
Yeah.
We always had a vegetable garden. We always had, my mom and dad always had gardens outside somewhere. And so for our family, it's been something that's just a mainstay. It's that family therapy kind of a thing that we do. And I think that's what you see a lot of going on now. Everybody's spending a lot of home time with their family together. And to get out in the garden, to get out of the house, you're not cooped up anymore. And there's just so much creativity that you can do, and it's great for the environment.
Yeah, I actually read something by Oliver Sacks, the neurologist, and he said the things he thought were the best were gardening for our mental health, music, and art. Those things just
they blend perfectly.
And gardening, really, I think people have, you're right, during this time, it's been really tough for people, and gardening has been like a way to, be outside yourself, be outside, and feel good.
Yeah. A trend towards the victory garden attitude. So a lot of people are starting to find plants that they can put in their gardens that they can eat. They'll do the veggie seedling gardens. They'll do the trees, the apple trees, the all fruit trees, raspberries, things like that. But did you also know that you could actually eat hosta?
I didn't know that. That's
so
amazing.
there seems to be a thing on Facebook that people are posting for eating hosta. And basically, if you think about when asparagus grows and when you cook and eat asparagus, you take the young plant and you use that stem. Well, it's the same idea with the hosta. When it's just coming up out of the ground, you cut it up like a 6 to 8 inch stem. And literally, I tried it. I sauteed some on my Foreman grill and put a little salt, pepper, butter on it. It was delicious.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got a light flavor of asparagus and lettuce together. Wow. So it's very good. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Now we know why the deer come after them.
Cool. I've got to get a good close-up of the cairn area.
If you move in on that one rock, it's dated.
Oh.
Yeah, where is that? Yeah.
Right there.
Mm.
That's Carlton Jones. Carlton Ezra Jones. That's Steve's father. And this is his homage to his rock building.
That's my grandfather's name, Carlton.
Oh, really? Yeah. And this is 8 feet high to the top, and it's 8 feet to the bottom, and it's all dry stacked.
Wow.
There's no concrete on this whatsoever. It's all slanted inward so that it should hold itself with gravity forever.
Yeah.
And so this is where we put the time capsule sheets. He had a little piece of sheet metal about the size of a piece of paper, and with a ballpoint pen, we embossed a story on the sheets of metal, and he rolled them up, and they're in there attached to a ribbon. So if anybody ever starts to take it down, they can see what was going on here at the farm.
Great use of all of the rocks that come up in New England.
Yeah, absolutely,
like,
and we have tons of them.
Rocky.
So if you look at around the distance, you can see all the different rock walls, and they go all through the woods, all through this whole region. And all of those rock walls are a result of past generations clearing the fields for farmland. And that's a lot of what Carlton would use to rebuild the formal walls in front of the house and down by the road. And those were that's a lot of labor hours. You can actually see the fact that this is a power line. This was like a complete brambles. This whole area was just like you see when you look at other power lines. And slowly Steve creeped in. He had the 2 ponds dug. And now he's using it to use as display gardens to show people what they could do in their own areas, or if you have a wetland area, what the wetland plants are that you might plant, things like that. And then as we go throughout the gardens, you'll see there are other little island gardens going throughout. We have wood ducks, we have geese. You can hear the frogs in the background right now.
I was wondering if that was some kind of sprinkler system.
Those are green frogs.
Yeah.
They're the ones that sound like a
Yeah.
a banjo out of tune. That's how people describe it.
And then both ponds have bass in them. So the birds will come in and they'll eat the bass and carry them away. We've seen crybaby flying off with a bass every now and then, a smaller one, which is pretty cool.
Wow, it's so pretty. Yep, you would not know these are power lines.
Yeah, so as you come down through, if we lift this gate, if you come down through, because your eyes are attracted down here, you still don't quite realize that you're in power lines until you look up.
Yeah.
And that's when they appear. We've seen otters scampering around. There's a bass right there.
Oh, yeah.
Coming on over. Yeah, there's snails, there's crayfish. Yeah, the ecosystem has been established so that they all feed off each other basically.
Yeah. Oh, I love wetlands. So important too. Oh, yeah, this is it's a dragonfly nymph.
Oh, really?
Exoskeleton.
Oh, yeah. See, so something like this would be a great place to bring kids for a class.
Yeah.
A little hands-on experience to see a lot of the different things that are right here in our own backyard, basically.
I used to do classes.
You get a beautiful shot up to to our house too.
So the scientific name of green frogs is Rana clematis, which means crying frog.
Really?
Because if you sneak up on them, they go eek, eek, like that. So anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah, they do. They have this funny
So you need to do a class here when we can gather again.
Yeah, I would love to.
Yeah, all of those bits of information are really cool.
Yeah.
We have if you look in the water right there, that's a lily.
Oh, yeah.
It's an ornamental lily, and we sell those also.
Look at the size of
Oh,
that
look at the crayfish.
Oh my God, Nate, that crayfish is huge.
Oh.
Look at all the crayfish. Look at the size of that one. That's a lobster.
Huge.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. I'm taking a picture.
Oh my God, look at the size of that
It
thing.
really is like a lobster.
There's a little baby one right next to it.
Yeah. That is amazing.
Yeah, definitely take a picture because I'm not sure if I'll get it with this camera.
Yeah.
And that is, now I'm scared to go in fresh water.
They're gonna fight.
Yeah. Wow, that is amazing.
Obviously, there is a lot to see
Yeah,
here.
that's so cool.
Yeah, that's a lobster. I know what I'm having for lunch.
Yeah. Wow, you guys could have a whole meal.
Like the Cajuns.
Yeah, exactly. Boil. I'm sure they're doing a pretty good job there.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, look at all the frogs. Pollywogs.
Oh my gosh, so cool. I love how they're so well camouflaged.
They disappear. Yeah, we're probably staring at 10 of them.
I know. That's the thing. It's like you can be looking right at them. They're so. Oh, see, I'm seeing now. Now I'm starting to be like, oh, there's one, but they immediately go under. Look at all the damselfly and dragonflies too.
Mm.
They love this.
And I think that in front of us is my favorite variegated flowering bush. I have no idea.
Hakura nishiki, and it's a Japanese variegated shrub. And as you can see, there's a standard way over in the distance too. That's the same one, but that one's basically on a stick. It's a grafted type version of it on like a 4-foot trunk, basically.
Gorgeous.
And as the sun, gets more and more vibrant, hot, the red, the pink comes out more and more. Yeah. So it's got like seasonal interest where it changes from green to white to pink. So as you can see, it goes down further and further. And there's the power line.
So again, about 253 acres in all?
Yeah, the entire farm encompasses 253 acres. It goes from one end of Quaker Lane to the other end of Quaker Lane with a few other properties in between here and there. But Steve has recently acquired a 3-acre lot at the other end, at the north end of Quaker Lane, which we now call Northgate. And that is more of a swampy area. And so the plan is to use a lot of the trees, shrubs, and perennials to show people what they can do in a wetland area in their yard. So we do a lot of work with some of the Lakes Alliance programs, and we have a lot of buffer zone plants that we offer here, some that are indigenous, other that are ornamental that they can combine together, like he's done here at the farm.
Ooh, these are...
Ostrich fur.
Yeah, this is ostrich. So this is the fiddlehead guy.
And the way an ostrich tail comes out, kind of fans that way, and you
Yeah.
can see the shape of this vase-like shape of this fern.
Yeah.
It's kind of distinctive.
So cool.
So in the fall, this entire border has purple spikes of flowers coming out of it, all the way around, a ribbon of purple around all the gardens.
Wow. Look at all the happy butterflies. What are these blue flowers over on the...
Forget-me-nots.
Oh, those are forget.
Yeah. So that whole area over there is where the water comes into it's the inlet basically, where it's all spring water washed off.
Yeah. The chipmunk's watching us, probably ready to.
Oh yeah, right there.
Yeah, ready to.
Yeah, he's gonna chatter.
Lecture us.
Yeah. So in the spring, that whole area over there is glowing yellow with marsh marigolds. They're really low to the ground, and then after the marsh marigolds go past, you can actually see the yellow skunk cabbage, which is a very exotic-looking plant. It's got a big spade with a pistil in the middle. I think it's pistil or stamen in the middle, and it's just really exotic-looking. And then when that goes past, then some of the iris pops in, and then we also get the forget-me-nots, and there's also primula. You can see the pink down in there in the distance. There's a whole swath of that growing in there as well. And so that's a good example of how you could turn a nice wetland, marshy area into seasonal color in gardens that are natural.
Yeah. All right, so we've gotten to see the grounds. We're going to actually create a little art activity, and so I'm gathering things that I think are beautiful. So also things, I'm not picking things from the grounds. I'm basically picking up twigs, birch bark. This must be probably from the I don't know what this is from actually, but it's really pretty. It's like got a nice color and curve. So I'm going to pick up a bunch of those, and I'm also looking around for acorns, which I think I might be able to find, but we also are going to find some cones, I bet, as we go up through these red pines. So once we get all these gathered, we'll start a little art activity, a land art outside. So we're here at the sundial, and they put up a lovely tent for us so that we can have a little shade for our creation. So we're going to make land art, and that is really using your imagination with natural materials. So we picked up pine cones, we picked up leaves, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create something here on the ground, and then it'll be left behind for someone to get to see. It's super fun, super easy, and you can do this anywhere. It's along the lines of a fairy house, but really we're kind of thinking beyond the fairy house a little bit into just a design that's pleasing to us. And I think I might make it slightly representational. We'll see.